about report writing. Report writing are very, very important. One should know how to write the report. Report will help us to identify what the event was related to. And if we talk about the event, if we talk about the activity, we will also come to know what are the advantages and disadvantages, what went right, what went wrong, what are the benefits or what are the drawbacks that we have to really overcome. So because of the report writing, there can be lot many benefits that you're going to derive. You can plan well in for future. You can create a good strategy in future. You can also identify your own strengths and weaknesses. So please keep this in your mind that report writing will be helping you to draw lot many information and inferences. You'll come to know more about yourself. You'll come to know more about the product. You'll come to know more about the services. You'll come to know more about the organization when you are writing the report, the detailed report. So what is actually the work of a report, and what are the different types of report? Keep this in your mind that whenever we are going to talk about the report, these are the content that we are going to cover up in the forthcoming days. We are going to talk about the different types of report. We are going to also discuss about the essentials of good report writing. What is the proper structure of writing a report? What are the key steps that one has to follow while writing the report? What do we understand by data collection and the types of data? And what do we identify by the term executive summary? All right. So moving ahead with the first slide that everybody should know. When we talk about reports, reports are not same. They could be different based on their time, based on their place, based on their requirement, based on the information that is shared in the report. They may be of different types. The first one is routine report. How many of you were receiving report cards, monthly report card when you were studying in the schools? Say, for example, the class test used to be conducted and your teachers were sharing you the class test report card every month, or maybe twice a month, or quarterly, or half yearly, or annually. How many of you have received report cards? Quickly in the chat box. If you have received the report card, just write I in the chat box. Just write I. Type I and send it. So Aradhana, Divya Prakash, Kumari Jyotsna, Simran Kumari, Shivamanand rightly stated that yes, Fareed, you all have received report cards. Do you think that if a teacher gives you only one report card only after class 10th or 12th, can you improve yourself? Or will a student, or can a student improve himself or herself if they get only one single report card at the end of their complete schooling? Is that okay with you all? No. Why? Because we want to know more about ourselves, isn't it? Because there is a lot of scope of improvement, and unless and until we don't know what are the areas in which we are lacking behind, we cannot improve. In order to improve, in order to have a great command, in order to develop the knowledge skills, or in order to have a good command on the different subjects, we do require the information from our teachers, isn't it? So keep this in your mind that whenever we talk about the reports, there are certain reports which are written, generated on regular basis, like your report card, which was generated by your teachers every now and then. That is from time to time and again, your teachers must have produced the different reports, particularly when you were a student of class 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then even in class 6th to 10th or up to 10th, your teachers must have definitely shared lots of report card with your family or with you to make you understand what are your plus and what are your minuses. These are called as report. Now, in general, when I talk about the management or when I talk about the employees, regular reports are also generated in order to know what is it that you have done. Say, for example, when you are working in an organization, every day you may have to submit your daily report, because the senior wants to know what is it that you have done when you were in the office. So when you submit every day your daily report, it's a part of routine report. Say, for example, when you are going to meet a client, what was your communication with the client? What is it that they have discussed? What is it that they have detailed? And when you give a brief report of it, again, it's a part of your job. It's a part of your roles and responsibilities. That would be a routine report. So routine report could be shared on daily basis, could be weekly, could be fortnightly, could be monthly, could be quarterly, could be half yearly, or could be annually. Please keep this in your mind that these are something which are part and parcel of your life or of your roles and responsibilities. You cannot just submit one single report and you cannot say that, okay, fine, this is the end of the report. No, you have to Submit the report time and again. When you are submitting the reports many a times, that is called as routine report. The next type of report is research report. When we talk about the research report, please remember there are many informations. There are lot many information that one can collect, get when you are doing, when you are a part of research. Do you all know what is research? Quickly in the chat box, what do you think research means? Or can I get the information from Mr. Farid Alam? I'll request you to unmute your speaker and can you please let me know what do you think research is? Can you unmute your speaker and can you please let me know what do we identify by the term research? What is it that you could understand? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Research means, ma'am, some type of topic we research individually, how to work with that topic, or how to organize, or how to process in that topic.
Excellent,
Like
Farid. Right, rightly stated, dear. But please remember, Farid, it is not necessary that it is to be done only on an individual basis. Very true, Simran. It is a detailed study on specific topic. Could be done individually or could be done in a team. All right. So, for example, when we talk about DRDO, when we talk about the scientist, when I talk about coronavirus, right? How many of you have heard about the research which is done in order to get the vaccine? Is this known to everyone or are you not aware of? You all are aware that in the month of March, the virus corona that started spreading in India, and then we had the series of lockdown. And even till date, we do not know when the vaccine will be released for all the population or the citizen of India. So when we talk about the research, research could be done individually or it could be done in team, as stated by Ms. Simran. As rightly stated by Shubham Anand, that research is a study of particular thing in detail. When we have a problem and when we don't have the solution of that particular problem, when we are trying to search for the solution of that particular problem, that is called as research report. All right. So the best example of the research report during the time of COVID-19 is the vaccine of coronavirus. All right. So the people whosoever are doing that particular study, detailed study in order to get the vaccine, in order to create the vaccine, in order to invent the vaccine, so that they can definitely help the people, they can definitely cure the people, so that people can live happily, people can once again be healthy, and they can fight against the virus called corona. So you should remember, research is something where you are trying to search for solution. The word research talks about solution. And whenever we are talking about solution, of course, there is a problem statement. That means there is some problem. There are certain questions that are raised, there are certain problems that are raised. And when we are trying to find the solution of that particular problem, that would become research. Say, for example, when we talk about network issues, with 2G, we could not connect. So we went on doing the research and then we adopted 3G. Now, when we talk about video watching, when we talk about gaming, when we are talking about video conferencing, we want the high speed of internet. And that was possible through optical fiber. And that is the reason from 2G, we shifted to 3G. And from 3G, we shifted to 4G. And very soon, probably in a year or two, we all are going to shift to 5G, right? So how is it possible? How do we come to know that these are the good things, these are the bad things, what to adopt, what not to adopt? So that is again possible through research. So I hope everybody could understand when we use the word routine report, what are the things that will cover up or that comes under routine report. When you are talking about research report, what is it that you're going to present? Say, for example, when your company is organizing some new kind of services, or when they are planning to launch certain new services or certain new product, you have to do a research whether the product will be liked, appreciated by the consumers or the customers or the clients or not. If they do not like it, if they do not entertain it, if they say no to it, that means your product is not going to be accepted or your services will not be accepted by the customers or the client. You may have to think twice or thrice before continuing it. So keep this in your mind that research is very important and it plays a very significant role, particularly for the students of management who are going to enter into the corporate world, wherein you have to find out from the different researches or from the different reports what are the plus, what are the minuses. Moving ahead, when we talk about investigation report, how many of you have heard the word FIR? And how many of you have registered FIR? Everybody must have definitely come to know about the word FIR, but how many of you went to police station to get your FIR written? Simran says she had heard it, but she did not go and she never filed an FIR. Okay, but what about the rest? What about Dayakant? What about Fareed? What about Shilki? What about Sunny? Are you all aware of this particular word FIR? What does it mean? What is the full form of FIR? Quickly in the chat box. What is the full form of FIR? Very good, Simran. Yes, Shubha, it is first information report. It is the first information report which is collected by the police authorities whenever we are registering our complaint, isn't it? Whenever we have encountered any problem, when we had faced any problem, and if we want to complain or if we want to register our complaint, so what is it that the police does? It asks us to write an FIR, all right, to register an FIR. So registering an FIR will lead to investigation. Without FIR, the police is not going to investigate your problem. So keep this in your mind that whenever we talk about investigation, investigation is done when you try to reach to the root cause of the problem. Say, for example, when we talk about investigation, it doesn't mean that only police or CID or CBI will be using investigation report. You're wrong if you think so. So sometimes investigation is also done by all the organizations and company. Say, for example, when it comes to the product, your company is also producing washing powder. And there is another company named Ariel, even it is producing washing powder. There are millions of people who are buying Ariel, and there are only lakhs of people who are purchasing the product of your organization. What is the difference? What is it that they are worried about? What is it that they are different in? Say, for example, is it the component, or is it the quality? Is it the product? What is attracting the audience, or what is attracting the customers or client? When you find out and when you try to reach up to the conclusion of that particular thing, that is called as investigation report. So please remember, whenever we are talking about investigation, investigation means trying to reach to the root of the problem, trying to find out what are the root causes of that particular problem. Such kind of reports are called as investigation report. But even the HR clients and customers, if you are working with one of the organization and employees are leaving the organization time and again, you have to find out, you have to investigate what is it that is leading to such a low, that is a retention rate. So why the people are leaving the organization, and what is it that can stop the people from leaving the organization? You have to investigate, and then you have to present that report to your manager. Some reports are confidential. Confidential in the sense which cannot be disclosed to the common public, which cannot be shared with the common public. Such kind of report is called as confidential. Say, yes, secret reports, right? So, for example, if I talk about Prime Minister of India, whenever he asks for certain suggestions or queries, you will see that it will directly go to his website. Others cannot see to it. That is again secret. So there are not many confidential information that will be shared from one company to the other company. You all know about terms and conditions, isn't it, dear? So those terms and conditions are confidential things which are not shared to the common people unless and until they are not becoming the part of that particular organization. So confidential, again, reports are very, very important, and which you all are going to use in your day-to-day life after a year or two. The next is analytical report. When we talk about analytical reports are those where you are studying the tables, when you are studying the graph, when you are studying the charts, when you are studying the bar graphs like histogram or even the bar graphs. So whenever you are talking about any numerical analysis of the data, that is called as analytical report. So keep this in your mind that analytical reports are those reports wherein the numerical data or information is discussed, shared, and presented. So I don't know how many of you are really keen in reading newspaper. How many of you have the habit of reading newspaper at least once in a day for 5 to 10 minutes? flipping the pages of the newspaper and reading at least the headlines of the newspaper. If you do not have this habit, I'll appreciate if you can inculcate it. So Shubham says he does have this. Very good, Shubham. I'll appreciate if you can continue this, because as the student of management, you should know the political scenario of the economy, the economic scenario of the nation, the changes which are happening in the society, the change that is coming up or accepted, particularly in the field of technology, and how the environmental is getting impacted because of all the other key segments like political, economic, social, or technology. So keep this in your mind that reading newspaper will help you a lot. Now, let me just give you a glimpse. Whenever you are reading the newspaper, when you are flipping to the pages, particularly the business page, you will see there will be graph, there will be tables, which talks about quarterly profit and losses, isn't it? It will also talk about the rise in the price. Say, for example, comparison of the prices, comparison of the Sensex. What was the Nifty rate last week? What is the Nifty rate, current rate? And if I talk about the BSE and NSE Sensex, how many points raised was there in the BSE? What are the important like shares where there is a hike in the price, where there is a low or fall in the price? So all these are presented graphically in the form of pictures or in the form of graph. Therefore, these are also called as infographic. Keep this in your mind, management students, that you should not say that we don't know what is infographic. Information shared graphically is called as infographic. I want every one of you to quickly write this word infographic in the chat box so that it will be there in your memory for a longer period of time. Infographic, the information that is shared to the common people or to the public in graphical way. Whenever we say graphical, it could be tabulated in the form of a table. It could be presented in the form of pie chart, wherein the percentages are presented. It could be divided in the different graph lines, could be scattered, could be dotted, or could be line graph, or it could be again in the form of charts, or it could be in the form of the bar graph, the histograms. So keep this in your mind whenever we are talking about analysis. Whenever the analysis is done of the numerical data, such kind of report is called as analytical report. So the next is technical report. Now, when we talk about all the diagnostic centers, have you been to a diagnostic center either to get your own body diagnosis done, or of your family members? So whenever you go to a diagnostic center, they do the diagnosis and then they share the report. The report that is shared by them, we may not understand because it is absolutely technical, that could be understood only by the experts like the doctors. Similarly, when you are using your laptop, or when you are using the printers, when you are using your mobile phone, there are a lot many technical information that is stored in your mobile phone or in your laptop or even in the different gadgets. Those technical reports, even when you download it, you cannot understand it because you may not be expert into it. So technical reports are those which are developed, which are shared by the technical expert to the other technical experts so that they can come to know more about it. So for example, if I talk about here, I don't know how many of you have studied BTech. Is there any student who had studied BTech? Quickly in the chat box. Or can you please let me know what is it that you have studied during your graduation? What was your stream? What was your stream of education, or during your graduation? What is it that you have studied? So Shubham says BSc. Was it BSc, pure BSc, or was that BSc IT dear? So Simran says BCom. Okay. Ranjan Kumar says BTech. Jyotsna says BCom. Farid says BBM. Divya Prakash, again, he had studied BM. So zoology honors. Thank you, dear. So now when we talk about zoology honors or BTech or even BSc, you must have done lots of experiments, isn't it, dear? Now, when you were even the student of technology, you might have done the workshops. You might have submitted your reports on the different workshops or seminars. Now you must, when you use certain technique of evaluation, whenever you are using certain prescribed techniques or some informed techniques, such kind of report cannot be understood by all. Say, for example, when I talk about the commerce student, a balance sheet, identifying the differences in assets and liabilities, the differences that are there in assets and liabilities, about the debts, about the bad debts, about bankruptcy. The student who has done BSc may not be able to understand what is bankruptcy, what are bad debts, isn't it? Similarly, when you are talking about BBM, the students who have studied about management, about the principles, about the philosophies, they whatever they have studied may not be understood or is not applicable because technically they are not sound when compared to when I am comparing Aradhana with Divya Prakash or Farid Alam. So keep this in your mind that every study will have some or the other technical learnings, and these technical learnings, when you are presenting in the form of report, is called as technical report. Annual report, from the name itself you can see that it is presented annually every year at the end of the financial year or the academic year or the year that we are using in order to calculate our business or the profit or loss of our organization. That is called as annual reports. You must have seen every now and then in the newspaper. Have you seen the audit report? Have you heard at least the word audit anytime? Do you know what is audit? If you know what is audit, quickly in the chat box, so that I'll come to know that yes, these are the students who have at least heard the report I. So what about income tax filing? Is this known to everyone? Filing income tax. Everybody must be knowing this. Why do we file income tax? So that our income is not taxable. If we are tax free, we can avail the benefit of tax free. So there can be different benefits that you're going to get when you are filing your income tax. Are you going to file it every month or is it done yearly? Quickly, do you file your income tax? ITR is filed every month or do you do it annually? Annual or every month? Monthly or annually? Yes, Ranjan, it is done yearly, isn't it, dear? So yes, annual. And whenever we are talking about annual, the report that is generated is annual report. All right, because it is the complete statement of your income and expenses. Based on the complete status of your income and expenses, you file your ITR. That is again a part of annual report. Similarly, the company will get its report audited and it is going to share the balance sheet, which talks about what is the profit ratio, what is the profit earning ratio, what is the if there is any loss, what is the loss related to. So any report which is presented on year basis, that is called as annual or yearly report. So now the concept which is shared with you all, I hope everybody is clear. Now please keep this in your mind that if you are working in an organization, you may be using different types of report. Sometimes you are preparing routine report. Sometimes you are working on research report. Sometimes you are part of investigation report. Sometimes your management may ask you to be a part of confidential report. Sometimes you are presenting analytical reports. Sometimes you are presenting technical report, and sometimes you may be presenting annual report. Now, no one can say that I'm a student of management or I'm pursuing HR specialization or finance specialization or IS specialization or marketing or sales specialization, and I'm going to use only one or two report. No, it's not possible. And not only these, there can be other kinds of report based on the organization, based on the requirement of the organization that you people are going to practice in your day-to-day life. But majorly, these are the 7 reports, these are the 7 types of report which every management student must know, must have information related to. All right. Now, moving to the next slide, which talks about essentials of report. Now, when we want to write a good report, whenever you want to present a good report, what are the things that you have to keep in your mind? The first thing is you should have the clarity in your perspective. Perspective is your thought. Perspective is your idea. Perspective is what you are planning. So when can you have that clarity in plan? When can you have that clarity in thought? When can you have that clarity in your idea or action? When you know what is it that you're going to present. So have the clarity, whether am I going to write a report which is based on my routine actions, that is either a routine report or research based report or confidential report or investigation report or analytical report or technical report or could be an annual report. So please remember, have the clarity in your perspective. Know what is the purpose behind writing the report, who is going to read the report, who is going to get the benefit out of the report, what are the benefits that they are going to derive. When you have this clarity, when you can identify the purpose, the objective, the aim behind writing the report, it is going to be of great help. Moving on to the next part, wherein it says authoritative facts and figures. Whenever we are talking about report are mentioned or written based on the information that is shared or the things that had happened. Say, for example, if somebody is asking you to write a report on the activity or event which is going to happen in future, without the event, without the accident, without the incident, without the activity, is it possible to write a report? My question to you all is, without the activity, without the incident, without the accident, or without the event that is to be scheduled, when the event is not yet done, when the activity is not yet done, when the things are not yet happened, can we generate report? Very rightly stated, Shubhamanand. Yes, we cannot write report because reports are written only at the end of the event. You can write a report on freshers party. You can write a report on your internship. You can write a report on your performance in your trimester 1. Only after spending time, only after participation, only after your active involvement in that particular activity, you will come to know the details of that particular report. Therefore, always remember, it is very important to include fact and figure. Remember these two F. This was time and again told to you all, even when we were discussing about notice, even when we were talking about memos, even when we were talking about agendas or MOM, even when we have discussed about email writing, even when we were talking about the 7 C's. It was very clearly stated that the information that we furnish should be correct, should be right. It must have certain evidential proof. So whenever we talk about the information that we are going to share in the report, it should be fact, no myth, no false statement. Maintain judicial approach. Whenever you are sharing the report, you should not be biased. You should not say that, oh my God, I'm sharing something bad about it. So what people are going to think? No, you cannot be biased. Say you're working in ABC organization as a sales officer. You are observing that the sales, the profit earning of the sales is going on declining. And you've also come to know, you have also identified the major reason for its decline in sales ratio. Now you have to give the honest report to the members of management. If you believe that if you even furnish the wrong information, and if you say that I'm working in ABC and how can I present wrong or how can I present the gray image of my organization, the management will not be happy, because management will be more than happy if you are presenting the true or the correct information. So therefore, whenever you are applying the approach, it should be judicial. Judicial says present the things as it is. You should not add any extra color. You should not try to try to manipulate any information. You have to present the right information, furnish the right and relevant information. The analysis that you're going to do should be deeper and deeper. Try to identify and reach to the root cause of the problem. Instead of having only your opinion, you should also collect the opinion from the others so that you can have different perspective. Say, for example, when I ask Shubham Anand, do you like watching old movies? He says no. But if I say that, okay, Shubham says he doesn't like watching old movies, I cannot draw a conclusion that present generation people, they don't like watching old movies. I have to collect the information from others too. Probably, Shubham may not like watching old movies. Who knows? Kumari Jyotsana is fond of watching old movies. Likewise, Simran Kumari is also fond of watching old movies. Who knows that Farid Alam enjoys watching old movies because it has good storyboarding, it has good songs and many things. So we should remember alternate viewpoints matters a lot whenever we are talking about the report. Yes, report is presented by us. Yes, report is drafted by us. Yes, the information that we are collecting in the report will be drawn by us, but we should also take the opinion or viewpoint from the other. And all the information that we are sharing will have some or the other supportive document. Now, for example, when you are going to watch a movie, you should have a supportive document with you that either you have booked the ticket online, you must have that pass with you, isn't it? Without that soft copy of that ticket, you cannot enter into the hall. That is called a supportive document. Similarly, when you are appearing for interview process, it is must for you all to carry your resume. Without resume, people will not allow you to sit or appear for the interview process. So that gives a brief description about you. So that is a supportive document. So there can be different supportive documents. We are going to know about the different supportive documents that we will be using in order to collect the information for our report. So those supportive documents also must be furnished. All right. So that's the end of today's class. We have discussed in today's class about the two different concepts, the different types of report, and what are the essentials that one has to keep in mind while writing the report. All right. We will be discussing a lot more about report writing in tomorrow's class. Till then, take care of yourself and happy